Good morning, students. Today we have a very beautiful story, A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes from the textbook First Flight. So, get ready to start. Before going into the story, let's have a glance about the author. Mr. G.L. Fuentes was born on 17 November 1897. He was a Mexican novelist, poet, and journalist. He was one of the leading chroniclers of Mexican Revolution. He has written a great many books, including poetry, stories, etc., etc. He was also awarded the National Prize of Arts and Science in 1935, and many more awards in literature were also given to him for his pioneer works. Now, here's the theme of the story, that one can move mountains with faith, but what should we put our faith in? And this question is very beautifully raises in this story. Let's see some difficult words from the story before reading this story. Predict, to say in advance, or foretell. Intimately, something very closely associated with. Trapped, covered or decorate something. Hailstones, small balls of ice falling as rain. Plague, of something large number of a pest that invades an area. Locust, insects which fly in big swarms or groups and destroy crops. Conscience, an inner sense of right and wrong. Peso, it's a currency of several Latin American countries and Mexico also. Now let's see the summary of the story. In the story, Lancho was a poor farmer. His lonely house in the valley was situated on the top of the hill from where he could see the river and his fields. Lancho had sown corn that year and was expecting a good harvest. The only thing needed was a good downpour, and he was very happy to see dark clouds in the sky. And it started rain after a few minutes. Lancho became really glad that he comes out to enjoy the droplets of the rain on his body. In a few minutes, it started rain heavily. The big raindrops were like 10-cent pieces, and the smaller ones were like 5-cent pieces. Pieces is the currency of Latin American countries, just like we have paisa in our India. But suddenly, a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, and on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. The corn was totally destroyed. Lancho was very sad because he had not expected this. All the things were destroyed, nothing was left. Now the fields were covered with hails. Everywhere there were only white hails. The pleasure and smile on Lancho's face were vanished somewhere. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "My dear sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn." Lancho became sad and felt they would go hungry that year. Also, they would have no seeds for the next crop. The hailstorm has destroyed his hopes. The hailstorm has destroyed his aspirations. He is thinking that this year his family is going to starve. But suddenly he started thinking. Lancho had a firm faith in God because in his childhood he was taught that God will never let anyone stay hungry. He is seeing everyone and is always ready to help his poor children. So now he had a single hope, help from God. He was sure that no one dies of hunger. So now he decided to write a letter to God. The following Sunday, he went to the post office, wrote a letter to God in order asking for help. He wrote, God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my fields again and to live until the crop comes because the hailstorm. He finished his letter, write to God on the envelope and posted it. I know. Now you all are thinking how foolish this man was. But you forget, my dear students, it was his firm faith that insisted him to write to God. And now the questions arise, will the God receive the letter? Will the God help Lancho? How will the God help him? For answer of all these, stay connected and watch the second part of this story. Till then, bye bye and stay healthy. Thank you.